welcome back to the big hall, boys. Let's go. We have to go inside of the river. As you can see, though, it's a beautiful place actually to get a trailer free. I do love it. It's different than the other rivers that we have seen and everything, right? You know, because of the little rock bed that we have on the floor. Can we connect it? That's the trailer. Yes, we can. Absolutely fantastic. Though I was a little bit worried that we could not do it with this setup, but apparently we can, which is nice. And a massive surprise, to be honest, but ooh, there we go. But yeah, this side of the map is almost complete with the side missions that we have found. There are a couple of them left. Then there are, of course, a couple of the main missions that we have to focus on. Then we are going to move on, right? But that is for probably a little bit later than that we are actually aware of, because some of these missions might be actually very repetitive or very, very long. We will have to find out. But so far, it went way quicker than I thought, though. Way quicker than the first missions in Michigan. So yeah, this is the town actually. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wait a minute, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. Okay, so there are 7, not 8. Although that little shed over there kind of looks like one from the map. It is not. So there are 6 of them in total. And for a region like this, yeah, this is an absolute little town. We do need a pizzeria over here, though, just like the one in Michigan, but oh well. Excellent job. Hard work. Can continue without interruption now. Much appreciated. You're welcome, big man. Lost service trailer. Now, where do we have this one? Aha. Sure. Nice around the corner. They are still standing, so I think nobody has something to complain about, right? You know? Alright, so right now we have a little issue, right? What might be the best way to go there? That's a very good question. This seems to be the shortest one. I kind of think it is made for that route. Yeah. You know what? We can debate about it all day, all long, though. Let's just put it in reverse. And back forward. First gear, and so on. Right through the new fences they installed just this morning. Yeah, we can easily do this from here. Well, easily might be a little bit excessive, but it will not be an issue. You can just waltz down here. These little trees, they are not in the way at all. Easily to push over, as you can see, even while we are climbing up. By the way, how did you get this lost here? Did someone go on a holiday or something? You know, the only way how I can imagine this being lost, though, is that someone had to work with 8 of these trailers in one day, and then he went on a holiday. Someone 2 months later figured out that there was one trailer missing somewhere, you know, and only that way kind of figured out. And then he asked the guy, and then, you know, that's about it. That's my story behind it, though. My theory. Oh my god, these camera angles, man. I'm getting an epileptic attack, though. Alright, here we are. Yeah, this is something else. Ooh, there we go. High gear down the hill. Nothing to fear, nothing to tip. And let's be a little bit more respectful, right, you know? Towards the the fences and everything. It is not our property after all. Yeah, it looks way better, right? You know, if we drive like this, feels better too. It just feels proper, if that's the correct word. Yeah, probably. And here we go. Beautiful quick delivery. Just around the corner. I wish I could say that this was a rare incident, but with terrain like this, it happens a lot more than I would like. Drivers need to be more careful. Thanks for taking care of this. If that is the case though, maybe paint them not green so it blends a little bit in though with the trees. Maybe pink or orange. I would go for orange to be honest, but I don't know, man. I don't know, you know. Alright, I believe now we only have this one, so we will not stop trekking. We will start trekking, one might say. How is the map? I think it is a little bit upside down, isn't it? Yes, it is. Ah. Technically, we could actually go for it, but I think we want to start here. So we go with the hippie mobile. I think we will. Yeah, it's a new scout for me at least. The Khan L-O-4-F or Loaf. Oh, the Khan Loaf. Hey, there you go though, huh? It is an interesting one. It's like a bathtub on tiny wheels or a weird tank for the hippie community. I don't know, man, you know, and that's why I have let's get a little bit dirty, right, you know? Only natural soaps and everything, you know. Oh, God. Why are we driving so slow though, I wonder? We have 6 gears on this bathtub, but I do like it. It is very practical though, right? You know, like a little mattress there in the background, microwave, and hot iron for some toasties, you know, some grilled cheese after all, a coffee machine, a portable well, potty maybe if you want to, and I would say scouting time is fun time, right? You know. Now, let's see, by the way, I was kind of planning to go there, but let's go with the next one to the right. Well, not this one, that one. All right, I'm actually willing to spend a little bit of money because my trucks get stuck here and my scouts are getting a little bit stuck here. There is also another car that I'm a little bit interested in, right? You know, with the very wide tires. I believe well, people call them balloon tires. But this is rather slow pokey, right? And if I go in auto, we just dig ourselves in. So, till here. You know what? I think this might be a nice little test, right? Well, here we are. By the way, looking at the tires, as you can see, I did not go for the massive profile ones. So let's see how this one actually does. So far, really smooth though. All right, slowing down, just like my trucks, even the 4-on, right? You know, my other scouts. It all slows down. Let's just go with high gear. Will be a mistake maybe, although we are still going. Oh yeah. Balloon tires for the window, I suppose, right? You know, I'm a massive fan of them anyways, because they look way cooler than normal tires. But because they are wider, it takes a lot more energy to push them forward, whatever it's carrying. In other words, you know, the truck or the Jeep in this case. And that means more fuel consumption too. Well, in real life at least. Like, I'm not sure if you guys have bikes at home or whatsoever, but if you ever did drive on a bike, you know, like Tour de France style, you have a very, very thin tire, right? You know, with that thin tire, you can actually accelerate rather quickly for longer turns. You can go on full speed without getting too tired in comparison. Oh my lord! I just see the the fuel size of the canister, well, of the fuel tank, and it's really bad. It's really disgustingly bad though. But oh well. So anyways, the thing though is, right, you know, like if you have a wider, like a mountain bike or something, you do need a lot more strength and endurance to actually continue at your top speed. Just a logical thing to compare it, right, you know, and yeah. Be smart. Well, off we go, boys. Off we go. We already lost 8 liters. It's good that we have storage upstairs. I do love the Khan though, but that storage is the lifesaver though with fuel consumption. Although not a massive fan, right? You know, of the little tank size, but it is what it is, right? Cannot have everything, I suppose. Let's put the differential lock on. Oh yeah. Whoa. Okay. All right. I did not expect him to haul up though through snow like this. Was of course strong iron style trees in the way. Oh yeah, though this is very nice. It is way stronger than I thought, this Khan. Go. The shortest route might be actually for pump pump. You know what I mean? Or pump pump pump. Let's go for pump pump pump. That means we are going to the left here. Hopefully, smoothly enough. Kind of like the made especially for this mission, right? Alright, I just want to stay careful right now. Don't want to tip around here though. But if we get these power lines, you know, stable, and the roads are already stable, and the oil pipes are stable though, civilization can start. Well, modern civilization can start. All the basic things are there, right? Electricity and all. Beautiful. Let's just keep on going. Come on, high gear. Thank you. Yeah, this is not so difficult over here. We have done this with a truck before. We went then that way towards the Outlook Tower. So, well, actually it was not a truck, it was the Yar. So, well, it's almost like a big truck, right, you know? 6 wheels after all. But yeah, let's just go. Everything is going smooth. 21 liters, so we did go through 19 out of 40. Not too bad. Could be better though, but at least it's not guzzling down like it never did had a drink before in its life, right? Super sweet. Now, it's more to the left. I think what we might do is actually climb up here as much as we can. Okay. Somehow we really want to go up here, huh? Maybe it thinks it's a bird or something. Wow. No issues on solid, smooth rock. My respects, though, to the Khan. Be very careful here. I think we might tip if we just go straight. So let's go with the little inclines. Alright, let's take the differential lock off. We went way too quick there. Booyah! Way smoother than I thought it would be. Way smoother. Now we have an option. We have an option that we can go right over there, but the smart one will be just go free from the smart mill, right? You know? Yeah, let's just go big brain here. Good. Come on, stand up right. Yes, the tree is still alive. It's awesome sauce. High gear, so we just keep on moving. I have to say, though, the profile might actually work on our favor because it doesn't dig itself in, right? You know, because the big profiles kind of function like shovels. Very useful, though, for mud, but also very digging in. What if we can glide a little bit over it because the tires are so wide? That might actually be very useful though, although I have no idea how it precisely might work because I have no real life experience with round tires that are this flat in deep mud. Yeah. In my mind, it's just like it just slides over, right? You know, like it doesn't has any grip, but how? I don't know what to say though, right? You know, like, ooh, like it doesn't make too much sense. But yeah, that's the funny thing, right? You know, if sense is not at hand, then, you know, it's just logic that has to prevail. Thank you for your report. We are going to get to work right away. Here's your reward. All right. I hope I'm getting a little bit, you know, free of the energy bills, but who knows, who knows. Port Polar Base supply. So we have to pick it up there. Oh, no, we have to deliver it there. Pick up there, and there. Bricks 4 times, metal beams once, and fuel. Oh boy, 2 times. Alright, this is kind of interesting. Let's put it on active. And I kind of think we might go with the 4 on D. But then again, I am a little bit in the mood to try a different truck out though. Huh. Oh, look at that though. We are very lucky that we are here. Let's put the metal beams in the back. And then we do need 4 times the bricks and 2 times the fuel. The fuel is rather close by though to the polar base. As you can see, we can just take it from there. And that's a very easy haul too. The bricks might take a little bit longer. Just a little bit. Not too much though, because it's not too far away. But definitely we can actually get it done with a trailer at the same time. And then it's only 1 haul instead of 2. I think we might be doing that. Actually, we might be buying the twin steer. No, we have the twin steer, but it doesn't have a race suspension though. That is a bloody shame. So technically, I believe we can find a race suspension in this zone, right in Alaska. So technically, we could go drive around until we find it. Just so we can test it out. Kinda like that idea though. I wonder what you're doing with it. That's a lot of bricks, metal beams. Is quite a lot though. It could be a garage, right? You know? It could be a garage. Wait a minute, now I'm getting very curious about it. We've got a bunch of brainiac scientists, fellas, that get their kicks drilling holes in the ice. They happen to be big customers of ours, so we like having them around. They ask for something, you deliver, you dig? Very, 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 very funny though, this pun. So, okay, so what they are going to do though is they use the metal beams and the brakes as some type of operation base to drill holes, trying to find gases and other natural resources, right? Maybe rare minerals, maybe more oil. Interesting. But it could also be, you know, like a little garage where they are storing everything, science, you know, related stuff. A little bit more comfortable than just, you know, a dusty old room like that in the garage. You know what I mean? And then living in your own workplace. It's not everybody's dream, you know. Most YouTubers do it or whatever, but not everybody wants that. Some people need a dedicated space, especially with science. So I get it. So my fantasy is just going on. It would have been awesome that we could deliver glass too, right? You know, and that would mean bingo. We have the 4 that we did need. The bingo card is complete. We are building something that you can study for long term. Nice. A little extra for what do we call it, right? You know, environmental science, because it's happening a lot in Alaska too. And then, of course, you know, local hunters doing certain tasks when you are getting around, you know, like collecting some water sources, marking where they got it. Ooh, that's a steep one. Let's just try to back out of here. Is it out? Oh my. Oh boy. That was a close call, right? But yeah, you know, they are collecting that, and then of course blood samples. Sometimes they collect stool from wild animals. Little test tube, checking what the animals are eating, if they are getting sick. It's a wonderful walking environment, right? You know what you can combine into an entire ecological team. How cool is that? Most of us know all about this though, but sometimes to just hear it and put it in the game just adds another layer of appreciation, at least for me, right? You know, like now this map means a whole lot more to me by just that little bit of lore I made up, one might say, but still. Papa, fuel 2 times. Yep, that's for the generators, I might assume. Aha. Somebody was thinking like, why do they need the fuel then, right? If I caught you there, do let me know, alright? By the way, what is the main mission? GR Enterprise. Timber, far, far away. Home supplies, mountain maze. All barrels delivery, filter delivery. It's a long way to the top. I don't know. And it seems like they are working with the environment too, right? You know, because of the logs. But then again, it could be building. Who knows? And here we go. At least the generators are running. Now we have to go there or there. The problem is we don't have a trailer, but trailer store is right over there though, huh? Aren't we lucky today though, I have to say, right? You know, everything is just falling to pieces in the correct way that I mean. Ah, yeah. Wrong terminology though. While we are here, I don't want to forget to siphon some fuel from that container over there, from that, what do you actually call it though? It's not really a container. Well, technically it is though, but you know what I mean, right? Bricks, and then we want to have bricks, and off we are. Alright, let's pause here. Let's get the little hose. Okay, everything is packed. Refuel. 4D. Beautiful. And off we are. Let's go and haul in. I don't want to press the horn, but let the people sleep, I would say. By the way, that's a Betty. Yeah, that's a Betty over there. That's a pretty big factory over here for just one, well, it's like one cabin actually, not a trailer. Two cabins, okay. And the cabins can be full of men though, so yeah, it's kind of fitting then. Hopefully the boys are not awake because of me. Whoa, do you see that? There's some real men living in there. Do you see the little windows? They're open. How cool is that though, huh? You can see from here. Oh yeah, they are definitely open though, my boys. Real men are living there. Oh yeah. Let's go. You managed to keep those eggheads happy. For now, thanks a lot. You're more than welcome though. And by that, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful time. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Stay happy, stay healthy. And don't forget to subscribe though. Bye bye.